Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me tonight is Jay Huseman, and we are here for the NASCAR Cup Series race to preview them racing at Nashville Superspeedway. Love that track and love that trophy, Jay.
Do, and I mentioned it there in the Xfinity Series. If you're looking for nighttime racing, you got it this weekend. All three series at the same track and all three under the lights. So looking forward to a fun-filled weekend here at Nashville.
Absolutely. And I know you've looked at the entry list already. So what
we have? Yes, we got three open teams. The number 44 is going to be J.J. Yaley. The number 66, I thought they were all double digits. Nope, the number 66 will be Chad Fincham. And then the number 67 is a 2311 racing machine, and that is going to be Corey Heim. I believe that's his second start for them.
Yes, it is. And his first one wasn't too long ago, so pretty cool to see him back behind the wheel. All right. Go ahead.
There's been a lot of talk about him. He's running a combined schedule of different series with different teams. But with that, and I'm trying to think what race it was. I know he was the best finishing 2311 team in 13th.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's kind of surprising, too, when you think about it. All right, now the NASCAR Cup Series race is the Cracker Barrel 400 at Nashville Superspeedway. Again, it is a 1.33-mile concrete paved oval. That race is Sunday, June the 1st. We're hitting the June month, so that's pretty cool. The race is on Amazon Prime starting at 6:30 p.m. And the race should start sometime around 7 p.m. Radio coverage on PRN and Sirius XM NASCAR Channel 90. They're going to race a distance of 399 miles over 300 laps. Stage 1 ends on lap 90, and Stage 2 will end on lap 185, making that 95 laps. The final stage will be 115 laps, ending on lap 300. Now, the NASCAR Cup Series will have a practice and Busch Light pole qualifying on Amazon Prime, PRN, and Sirius XM NASCAR Radio starting at 4:30 p.m. That's Saturday, May the 31st. Then on Sunday is their race. Again, that starts at 7 p.m. on Amazon Prime, PRN, and Sirius XM. And Jay, I know you signed up for your 30-day free trial, right?
I did, yes. So we tuned in come Sunday night, that's for sure.
All right.
Now this weekend, NASCAR the Cup Series is building their history, because this is only the fifth running of a NASCAR Cup Series race at Nashville Superspeedway. They came to the track in 2020 and run now through 2025.
All right. Now, 4 different drivers have won at Nashville Superspeedway in the Cup Series. Kyle Larson in 21, Chase Elliott in 22. It was Ross Chastain in 2023, and Joey Logano just last year.
Now, at 1.33 miles, Nashville is the longest concrete oval on the NASCAR schedule, so they hold that distinction.
All right. And 42 Cup Series races were held at Nashville Fairgrounds between 1958 and 1984.
We're down to 3 drivers have won the last 6 concrete races. Denny Hamlin has 3 of those victories, Kyle Larson 2, and Joey Logano 1.
Kyle Larson won the last 4 stages on concrete. So he could be definitely one to keep your eye on this weekend.
Now, the race last year went 31 laps past the scheduled distance, the most extra laps ever in a Cup race due to 5 overtime finishes, and that also was a record.
Wow. In 2024, the Nashville race was 4 hours, 3 minutes, and 54 seconds. That's the longest race of the 2024 season. That's pretty amazing.
Again, that had something to do with some cautions there, no doubt.
Yes.
And Joey Logano got his first win of the 2024 season in this race last year. His 5 wins since winning this race last year, which including Nashville, ranked second only to Kyle Larson, who has 6.
Wow. Now, 5 of Joey Logano's 8 top 5 finishes since the start of 2024 are wins, including the win at Nashville last year.
Well, back on the flip side, Kyle Larson is the only driver to finish in the top 10 in all 4 races at Nashville. His average finish of 4.5 there is his best of all tracks. Who'd have thought that?
Yeah. Another tick in his favor for winning this weekend. All right. Now, Joe Gibbs Racing as a team has only 2 top 5 finishes at Nashville in 4 races. They also have failed to have a car finish in the top 10 in this race last year, despite leading 203 of the 331 laps.
We talked about this with all the series, the truck series a little bit further along, but for the Xfinity and the Cup, the 2025 season is halfway through the regular season.
And that's incredible. I can't believe we're into this second half, but I'm pretty excited for it at the same time. Okay, now the largest cut line deficit to overcome in the stage era to point into the playoffs after 13 races is 20 points. And that was Ryan Newman back in 2019. The only time a driver pointed his way in by more than 10 points below the cut line after 13 races. So very interesting stat there, Jay.
Well, and you said wow to one of them earlier. How about this one? This weekend's race is the 2,800th NASCAR Cup Series race. That's a lot of races.
That's a lot of races. 8 different drivers have won in 13 races so far this season. 3 of the last 4 races were won by drivers getting their first win of the season. So that's always good to hear.
I like to see that. You're right. Now, 7 of the 13 races in 2025 were won by drivers leading 10 laps or less, including 4 of the last 6 races. I like to see that too, man. Just come out of nowhere.
Yep. Now, the race winner led less than 10 laps 7 times this year. That's more than any other season through 13 races.
And the pass for the win came in the final 8 laps in 10 of the 13 races here in 2025.
And 4 races ended with a last lap pass so far this season. That's the most ever through 13 races.
And I want to know who these people are that's saying we don't have good races this year.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now, Hendrick Motorsports drivers have won 11 of the last 13 stages over the last 6 races, but only won 2 of the 6 races.
And Hendrick Motorsports driver has led the regular season point standings following each of the last 11 races. Byron was the points leader following 10 of the 11.
Yeah, him and Kyle Larson been swapping it up here the past couple weeks, so we'll see who comes out with the advantage after this weekend. Now, Hendrick Motorsports driver has led the most laps in 5 of the last 6 races. The team has led 1,391 of the 1,923 laps raced in the last 6 races at 72%.
That's amazing. Hendrick Motorsports' 14 stage wins this season are the most ever by a team through 13 races. So Hendrick Motorsports is definitely on the cutting edge here as far as figuring out this Gen 7 car.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, when it comes to the championships, we've been talking about Penske, but race throughout the year, it's definitely been HMS this year. And it laps led 1,706 in 2025, leads all teams by 989 laps. And that's the team's most since 1996 through the 13 races. And that includes, I believe, Jeff Gordon and Terry Labonte.
Yeah, that's wow. Now, Hendrick Motorsports' 31 top 10 finishes are tied for their most ever through 13 races.
And they also lead all teams in 2025 with 5 poles, 19 top 5s, 31 top 10s. And again, that 1,706 laps led, as well as 14 stage wins.
And I apologize for yawning. I'm having a hard time here, Jay. All right. Hendrick Motorsports won the pole for 5 of the last 9 races this season. They never won the pole at Nashville. That might be good news for the competition.
There you go. Don't let them start up front. Don't let them get up front. But we're not done talking about them either, because Hendrick Motorsports is the only team with at least one car finishing in the top 5 in all 13 races in 2025. No other team had at least one car even finish in the top 10 in all 13 races this year.
And Kyle Larson, he leads all drivers with 851 laps led, when William Byron ranks second with his stat at 669. Combined, the two drivers have left 41% of all laps raced this season. That is incredible.
And that is domination. I would not have realized that the two of them alone were doing that. Now, William Byron, talk a little bit more about him. His average start of 8.85 in 2025 is the best of all drivers. And his average finish of 9.54 also leads all drivers.
And let's talk about another Hendrick Motorsports driver. Alex Bowman is making his 268th start with Hendrick Motorsports this weekend. He will pass Ken Schrader for 6th on the team's all-time starts list.
Now, looking on the bad side of things, we've talked about a lot of good things, but there's been 8 engine DNFs in 2025. There are only 10 in all of 2024, so we're only 2 from hitting that. Yeah, we've noticed that. Unfortunately, several of them have been Ryan Blaney with Team Penske.
That is true. 27 different drivers finished in the top 5 in 25. That's the most through 13 races in a season, since 27 did the same in 2011. And tied for the most through 13 races in the last 59 seasons, 27 in 2025, 11 in 2003.
Now, we talked a little bit about last week's winner, Ross Chastain. Over the last 7 races, his finishing 20.7 positions better than his starting position. Doesn't say a lot for their qualifying, but they're making it up during the race.
They are indeed. Chase Elliott is the only driver yet to finish worse than 20th this season.
Give you a Denny Hamlin note here. He will become the 22nd driver to start 700 Cup Series races this weekend. None of the previous 21 won in their 700 career start.
Wow. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he's making his 450th Cup Series start this weekend and can become the 4th driver to win in their 450th start. If he does so, he would join the likes of Dale Earnhardt Jr., Michigan of 2012, Jimmy Johnson, Michigan of 2014, Kyle Busch at Bristol in 2017. So we'll see if he can join that elite list.
Now, 3 drivers have won a pole in the NASCAR Cup Series at Nashville. Denny Hamlin in 22 and 24, Eric Almirola in 2021, and then Ross Chastain in 2023. Again, remember, this is only the 5th time the Cup Series are racing there.
Yes, indeed. Now, Richard Childress Racing, they have only one top 5 finish after 13 races for the first time since 2019.
Now, Alex Bowman with 2 and William Byron with a pair as well. Chase Briscoe also has 2. They're the only repeat winners in 2025, and that's for the pole.
And Ryan Preece has 5 top 10 finishes this season. He's tied for his most ever in an entire season.
Been having a very good season for sure. Now, Denny Hamlin finished outside the top 15 in the last 4 races after finishing at top 5 in the prior 4. So he might be trying to start a new string of four races.
Yep, we'll see how that goes. Now, 2311 Racing as a team has one top 10 finish in the last 5 races this season. And they have an 8th with Wallace at Talladega.
And here's the streak. The last 9 night races have been won by 9 different drivers. I like seeing these streaks.
Okay, William Byron leads all drivers with 4 night race wins in the next gen car. So nighttime could be a specialty of his.
That is kind of an odd one. Yeah, how about that? Now, despite being 32nd in speed, 31st in passing, and having 35th ranked pit crew, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. sits 15th in the playoff standings, right now 17 points above the cut line.
And 4 different drivers have finished runner-up in 4 Nashville Cup Series races. Ross Chastain finished second in 2021. It was Kurt Busch in 2022, Martin Truex Jr. in 23, and Zane Smith in 2024. Smith's career best finish in his case.
And I hit this earlier from the entry list. Corey Heim making his second career NASCAR Cup Series start this weekend, and it will be with 2311 Racing.
And the top 3 pit crews are all Toyota teams. The number 23, the 11, and the number 54.
And I know sometimes we don't like change, but since making a roster change before the Talladega race, Ryan Blaney's number 12 team has been that best rated pit crew.
Okay. Now, again, we will cover some other information here that is available for the NASCAR Cup Series. It's going to be maybe a little bit different, though, with a little bit of a twist. So with only 4 previous NASCAR Cup Series races at Nashville Superspeedway, Sunday night's prime time Cracker Barrel 400 presents a lot of unknowns and a lot of opportunities for everybody.
And last year's Nashville race featured the most overtime finishes in series history. It was an extra 31 laps, with Team Penske's Joey Logano coming out on top after a 5th overtime period. It marked the first race win of the season for Logano, who would go on to claim his 3rd NASCAR Cup Series championship.
And the 25 regular season officially reached a halfway mark at Charlotte just last week, where Trackhouse Racing's Ross Chastain claimed his and the team's first trophy of the season in a historic run from last place on the starting grid. That was an incredible run for Ross Chastain in one of the longest races of the season. The 32-year-old Floridian is also a former winner at Nashville. He won there in 2023. He has top 5 finishes in 3 of his 4 starts at the track, which bodes well for Chastain personally and for his team generally.
Now, although Chastain was a runner-up at Texas 3 weeks ago, consistency has been something the Trackhouse Racing team is still procuring as a perennial NASCAR Cup Series championship level organization. Now, good showing in the team's Nashville headquarters this weekend would go a long way. And I said that you got momentum, you got the hometown thing going on. He's a previous winner. Chastain could be your guy.
He really could be. All right, the first Trackhouse hire, veteran Daniel Suarez, earned 2 of his 25 seasons 3 top 10 finishes in the last 5 races, but he has suffered through adversity, often not of his own doing, with 3 other finishes of 33rd or worse in that stretch. His lone top 10 finish in 4 Nashville races came in 2021.
Now, Sharon, you've been talking about the second half of the season, and that's where we find out what rookies have learned. Shane Van Gisbergen, who's competing in his first full-time NASCAR Cup Series season in the number 88 Trackhouse Racing Chevrolet, has only a single top 10. That was at Circuit of the Americas road course. But the former Australian Supercars champion is coming off his best finish, a 14th place at Charlotte in the 10 races since COTA. He finished 15th at Nashville in last year's Xfinity Series race there.
Hendrick Motorsports' Kyle Larson is the only driver with top 10 finishes in all 4 Nashville races, with a win in 2021 and an average finish of 4.5 at the track. So Kyle Larson is tough to beat.
Conversely, though, we mentioned this in the 4 previous Nashville races, the powerhouse Joe Gibbs Racing team only has 2 top 5 finishes combined amongst its 4 drivers. Last year, the team led 203 laps out of the 331, but did not even come away with a single top 10.
Now, this season, the race winner has led 10 laps or less 7 times, including 4 of the last 6 races heading into Nashville.
And we've talked about their performance this year. The championship leader, Hendrick Motorsports' William Byron, has 2 top 10 finishes in 4 Nashville races and 2 others of 19th or worse. He's led a total of 5 laps, all in 2023, and finished 19th there last year. So which side do we see him on, the good or the bad?
Well, time will tell the rest of that story. Practice is set for 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, followed by the Busch Light Pole qualifying that starts at 5:40 p.m. Both sessions are airing on Amazon Prime, PRN, and SiriusXM NASCAR Radio.
Couple of last notes. We got JGR's Denny Hamlin won the pole position in 2024. Chastain is the only driver to win at Nashville from the pole, and he did that with his 2023 victory.
All right. Let's take a look at some other little stats here that I think are really important for the NASCAR Cup Series. All right. The NASCAR Cup Series driver Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Was able to visit Fort Campbell to engage with troops and experience military life firsthand ahead of the Nashville Superspeedway's Cracker Barrel 400. They have a triple header weekend this weekend, as we've been discussing, with all 3 series racing between May 30th to June 1st. The visit highlighted a deep-rooted connection between NASCAR and the United States military while amplifying the NASCAR Salutes Together with Coca-Cola initiative, which reached over 250,000 military affiliated individuals to the Clarksville area. So pretty amazing what this program is doing.
It is, and so appreciated. And the United States Marine Corps also announced that Marine Week Nashville will take place June 1st through 7th as part of the service's 250th birthday celebration. Marines will honor the legacy and tradition of service, celebrate veterans, connect with fellow Americans, and inspire the next generation of leaders to wear the cloth of the nation. Activations at the Cracker Barrel 400 include performances by the 2nd Marine Aircraft Wing Band and the Silent Drill Platoon. United States Marine Corps equipment will be positioned throughout the venue, along with commemorations before and during the race.
And the Cracker Barrel Old Country Store has been named the entitlement sponsor for the June 1st NASCAR Cup Series race at Nashville. It's the first race in a multi-year agreement. Officials have announced that Cracker Barrel 400 will spotlight 2 Tennessee institutions, uniting them to celebrate rich community and authentic experiences on a national and international stage.
All right. Well, I know we talked about the top couple in William Byron and Kyle Larson. Just to fill you in on the rest of the playoff grid as it is going into the second half of the season, you got Christopher Bell in 3rd, Chase Elliott 4th, Tyler Reddick 5th, Denny Hamlin 6th, 7th would be Ryan Blaney, Ross Chastain now up to 8th, Joey Logano 9th, Alex Bowman 10th. Then Chase Briscoe 11th, Bubba Wallace 12th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 13th, Ryan Preece in 14th, Austin Cindric in 15th, and 16th is Chris Buescher. Normally, I'd say that's where the cut line is. But Josh Berry with the victory is in 17th right now, so jumps in with that victory. So the cut line is actually got to go up above Austin Cindric as well. Ryan Preece at 280. Chris Buescher is at 274, 6 points out. And that is different than what some people may have thought, because it was announced earlier today that their appeal, Roush Fenway Keselowski's appeal of the 60-point penalty, they got half of it back. So they got 30 points back. So that brought him close to being back in the playoffs, but not quite in. Ironically, if he'd have gotten in, it would have pushed his teammate out.
Yes, indeed. Anything more you want to cover here with the points, Jay?
Yeah, I was going to keep going down there, as I mentioned, then Preece being the cut line at 280. Buescher is 6 back at 274. Again, Josh Berry jumps in, but AJ Allmendinger 267. Kyle Busch, 266. Michael McDowell, 259. John Hunter Nemechek, 257. So they're all still within range, and that takes you through 21st in points. And I just want to throw out Carson Hocevar in 22nd at 248, because he's had a couple of runs where we thought he might be the one to get his first NASCAR Cup Series victory.
He might be. Do you have a race winner pick?
Man. There's a couple. Obviously, again, taking the top statistic-wise, I'd go with Kyle Larson. I don't know if Nashville is the place, but I really do think Carson Hocevar could possibly get a win here in his rookie season. Like I said, I don't know if Nashville is necessarily the place, but I'll put him on there just in case.
Yes, and you never know. There are a lot of really strong competitors. You're saying Kyle Larson?
Yeah, I took the low-hanging fruit this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with Ross Chastain. I've got a feeling he's going to make it 2 in a row.
And that's what I mentioned now, hearing the stats on William Byron, too. William Byron liking the nighttime. Yeah, that's why I was like that. I was kind of between him or Larson when it came to the HMS drivers.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of William Byron, too. But I think Ross Chastain has some momentum on his side. Plus, he's racing in the Xfinity Series as well as the Cup Series. So I think that's going to help him.
And just like we talked about rookies of teams, it's the same thing. Whatever they've been working on to get to this point in the season, if they've found something good, this is where it pays off in the second half of the season. We've seen a little bit of that improvement in Trackhouse racing. Hopefully that continues. So, yeah, we certainly could see Ross Chastain become one of the ones we didn't know if we could give a different top 4 pick. It might become Ross Chastain here in the next couple of races.
I kind of have that feeling for sure. Okay, so anything more you want to say before we move on?
No, we make our picks, but we could be totally off. That just means it's great racing, because you don't know. And that's where we're at with the Cup Series. The competition that close. Yes, we still have a couple of drivers that we know are going to be there every week. We talk about Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, a multi-time winner, along with Christopher Bell. But I think this is the time of year where we start seeing some other drivers step in and try and thwart that effort.
Yes, indeed. But do watch for more coming. We've got all of our previews, already to go up. Get those edited and out as quickly as possible. It'll probably be all out on Friday morning. And then we'll be doing the reviews on Monday on the other side of the race weekend. And on top of that, we'll have our NASCAR Hot Topic Sound Off live stream, where we'll talk about all of the hottest topics in the world of NASCAR.
Looking forward to it again, because I think we're going to be recapping or reviewing some exciting racing.
Yes, indeed. And we want to say thank you for tuning in to hear what we have to say. We always enjoy doing these, and we hope you enjoy watching them as much as we enjoy doing them. Jade, I know you're hoping for no rain this weekend, right?
You are correct. I am never wishing for rain. We are not racing at Jackson this weekend. but I know other tracks are. So I want to see them get in their weekends as well. So yeah, we've had rain. I think maybe Sunday afternoon it didn't rain for an hour. Other than that, it's been raining for about a week straight. So we've had our share.
Yeah, well, we've needed the rain really bad, and we did get some rain over the last couple of days. But I think it's finally going to start heating up as far as the weather is concerned. We've been in the 60s and low 70s. I'm ready for those 80 and 90-degree days.
Well, my mom would disagree with you. She's been trying to get out golfing and doesn't do well with the heat. So yeah, she's been looking for it to stay in the 70s.
Yeah.
As it gets a little higher than that, she doesn't get in as much golfing as she'd like.
Oh, okay. Well, we got to get in more golfing. So, okay, everybody. We'll see you on the other side. We hope you enjoy your weekend of racing. I hope your race winner picks win.
There you go. Especially if
Okay.
you got money on them.
Exactly. Take care, everybody.